Hello everyone, how are you doing? Making another video, and today it's gonna be in English. So for those of my followers from Slovenia, please bear with me. This video is gonna be more advanced in some areas because I'm gonna talk about Bitcoin from a different perspective. I was already mentioning this before. I think it was 2 days ago when I made my last video. But even if you're not an advanced trader, that's fine. You don't have to understand everything and just follow the logic and try to take what you can out of it. Here is a risk disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only. You can read the rest at your own pace if you pause the video. Okay, so I have three charts here, and I know it might look really confusing, but I'll just point out a few different things here. So what is this? Okay, this is a Bitcoin daily chart on the right side. Oh, sorry. On the right side, we have Bitcoin daily chart. Here in the center, we have shorts. And for those of you who don't know, these are all the positions that are betting against the market. So these are the bears. Okay, the bears. So they're betting against you if you're buying. Okay, so the bears, sellers, and this is from Bitfinex, which is one of the biggest exchanges. And this here, these are the bulls. The bulls are buyers, okay? Buyers. So what I mean by that, this shows us the positions that people held, like that are the trades that are open and active on both on a daily chart. And yeah, I know it might look confusing, but I'll just point out a few important things. So the most important thing surely is the bears, right? And I want to point you out to this candle and this candle as well. Okay, sorry for that circle, it's not too pretty. But okay, so what is this? This candle happened on 26th of January. And if we go to 26th of January here, let's see what was happening 26th of January. Actually, here I'll go a little bit closer. I'll go to 4-hourly chart. 26th. Okay, so here. Okay, this is when the 26th began. I think there's a nice little triangle I can actually make instead of my pretty drawings. Yeah, better, isn't it? So I don't know why I have this in purple, but it's nice and pretty. Okay, so around here, this started to happen. So what does that mean? We were in this triangle, right? And we were discussing this. I think the whole crypto world was discussing this, and that we can either break from triangle or in the down to the downside, or we can go to the upside, right? But even before all this occurred, this bounce from here, you can see this candle here going up exponentially from 8,500 all the way down to 18,000. So what does that mean? That means that 10,000 bitcoins were shorted. So 10,000. So that's basically what? And just in a one day, at that price, that was about 13 million Bitcoin worth of Bitcoin in dollars were sold. And we have this push down. But what is interesting then is when, let's say that you're selling the market. So if you don't know what is selling, I would highly recommend looking at the video Actually, a friend of mine was asking about it yesterday. Yeah, go to YouTube and find selling short, and you have that explain sell short trading. This video, okay, 3 minutes, just sell short. The first video, it explains what it is in more detail, but basically it's betting against the market. So they sold, but the interesting thing that happened is when they came down here, if I'm selling, what I would usually do here, I would buy back a position and take my profit. So this should have gone down, but interestingly enough, here it was on 27th, it went further up. So we went up, although people were still selling. And now, look, this is 31st. Okay, this was yesterday. So around here, look at this big candle. So there was a lot, another, what, from 18,000 to 24,000, another 6,000 Bitcoins were sold in a position. And these are positions that are still open. This is not just like, okay, you sell a Bitcoin and that's it. This is, you sell on margin and you still have your position open. So it just, and then it, we broke the triangle and we know what happened there, right? We went down. But looking at this, we know that we have a strong we had a strong support at around 10,000. Around 10,000, right? So why I would have expect the sellers to go out to say, okay, that was good, I took my profit here. But the interesting thing, they're adding to positions. So those people, those bears that are selling the market, decided, you know what? I think this will go lower. This is what that means. To me, this is what this means. It means that they think that we are going lower. So I want to point this out. This is really important. And now if you look at this, these are the buyers, right? Okay, in buyers, of course, there's always a battle between the buyers and sellers. These are buyers or bulls, right? So they were also in 20, okay, this is 18th, 25th, 27th. So they were buying here. And now look at this, what happened 28th. It just went down aggressively. It went from 30,000 Bitcoins that were bought all the way down to 24th. And look what is happening now. It's going down with a great momentum. So buyers are going out and sellers are going up. So what does that mean? That means that the sellers are getting control. Sellers are gaining control. And of course, if the sellers are in control, the market is going down. So yeah, for all the for everybody who are holding Bitcoin, this is not a good good prediction or a good scenario. But you don't have to be worried about this too much, because there is some good news for you. And the good news is that if you look at my video from about a week ago, the best trade of your life, it will actually tell you how to react to this. Because looking at this chart, okay, so I think that was enough from bears and sellers. So I'll just go. And it's actually, there are some other interesting things that actually I could point out is, where the sellers were on top. This was 10th of October. Before diving into Bitcoin chart without this, so 10th of October, this is where we had the most sellers here. But what happened was, if you can see this candle here, Okay. So 10th of October here, you see we were on the top. There was the most sellers on the market here. But what happened is you can see that this went down aggressively because the price went out. So in this scenario, people thought that this is going to be, if we look closer, 10th of October. So what was happening, people that were selling the market thought that we are gonna bounce out of this top, but we didn't. So they opened their sell positions here because we thought we were going lower, and we didn't. And what that meant was they were stopped out of their positions. This is why the bears then lost control, because the bulls took control over. So we can see bulls here, 10th. This is when they're up as well. Like after that, you can see here, bulls took control. So they were stopped out, right? So right now we don't see this happening. Right now we are seeing bears in control. All right, so take a note of that. And if you don't completely understand this, you know, in the most basic form is that bears are taking control, or the sellers are taking control of the buyers. All right, now let's go to the Bitcoin chart, and I'll make this white because like black is easier on my eyes, but I know on video it looks better if I have it nice and yeah. So that doesn't really, okay, that doesn't look too promising for the buyers. Okay, we bounced off here from 9.7, so 9.7k. So, and even before here we bounced off from this. But the momentum up to the upside is not too strong. If we look at the volume here, so that was the last time that we had a breakout, and if you remember, we're kind of like in similar, on, you know, on a smaller scale though, we are in a similar situation that we were so 14th of January, around here, 15th of January, we had this triangle and we broke under, right? A little bit like this, and then we went down with a strong momentum. And what was needed to reverse this, look how much effort was needed to make this go higher. And even this was not enough, because basically we're still going down. Not that we're going down, but we didn't go up. All right, and now if you compare this volume, all these candles, to this, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. And we had, yeah, we had a similar situation here. We had a triangle, although obviously, you know, this was a triangle on a larger scale. This is on a smaller scale. But still, in order for this to turn around to the upside, I would want to see more volume here and a shift in momentum as well. So what is a shift in momentum? I think let's go to the hourly chart. Yeah, and the best way to explain actually is from example. So we had a shift in momentum here, and that Black Monday, some call it Black Monday, you know, depends. For somebody made money, you know, somebody lost, but for me yesterday was definitely a black, what was it yesterday, Tuesday, I guess. I made some poor decisions. This is why I'm analyzing every mistake, and keep on working on my game. There's nothing as a perfect trader. You're always working on your mistakes. So we had a shift in momentum, so that means we went down, but then the move up was so much stronger. You see this green candle? The move up was so much stronger that it kind of reversed the market, although not for a long time. And then we had another shift in momentum. If you look at the move down, compared to this, move up is stronger. And then even if you compare the whole thing compared to the last swing low, it was stronger. So that we call this a shift in momentum. And even this was not enough. It was just for a few days we went up until hitting this triangle, this shape. And now even this was not enough. And now let's look what's happened. Do we have some kind of a shift in momentum here? Let's see. I don't want to be too biased. I want to be as objective as I can. But this would be the whole swing down. So to have a shift in momentum, we would need something like this on a larger scale. And on a smaller scale, I would actually need an indicator to show me. I use indicators to help me recognize what is the new low. So this was a low and this was a high. So this was a previous high. So this is kind of like a minor, minor movement of a bigger movement, kind of like two waves, ABC or yeah, ABC. So okay, I'll delete actually this so it will be clearer, and I'll change this color. So I'll pair it together, so I'll put it blue. So for this to shift, what I would want to see is this going higher, like we saw at that time. So this is the scenario that would be kind of like bullish. That would mean that we are going higher, but I'm not seeing this. So looking at all this, I'm more bearish on the whole scenario. So I think we might go lower. Although of course we need a strategy for both ways, right? If it goes, if it goes lower, what we'll do. So let's first discuss a bear scenario. And if you haven't watched the video, still really relevant, the best trade of your life that I posted 1 week ago, or I posted even in Slovenian because it was so important. And I called it, what was it? Kako reagirati na padec Bitcoina. Really, really good video, still relevant. And for the bear scenario, what I see happening is we need to think as a big investors. So we need to, and what big investors are looking at are moving averages. 50 moving average and 200 moving average. Of course, even 100, but those two are the most important. And we were talking about this. I'll put this red because it's really important. So when we were around here, we were talking about at 50 MA. So this line, this blue line, I'll make it. Yeah, this blue line was starting to angling down, which indicates that we're in downtrend. And what happens usually then is we kind of gravitate towards 200 moving average. So this is still very, very valid, and it kind of coincides with this area where we have a really strong reversal zone, support and resistance around here. So in next few days, this I think is the most likely scenario. We were talking about this now for quite some time. So we go to 200 moving average on daily. And what then, right? After we go to 200 moving average, what usually happens is the big players come in and we get a strong bounce off. And where do we bounce off? We bounce to the 50 moving average. So in the scenario that we go down further, I would wait for this and start buying here in this zone. Of course, this is zone, not exactly 7,700, but around this zone. And you can go further back and see that was happening in the history of Bitcoin as well. But for that, I would recommend looking at my video. So, okay, this is a scenario. Buy, you buy here, and then you sell when you come up there. Okay, and what is the other scenario that this starts to turn around? Although I don't really see it happening yet. But let's say it bounces off again. Yeah, I wouldn't be really buying too much. I mean, okay, if it bounces off here, I don't see it bouncing too much because we already tried to bounce once. Let's think this through. What is a bullish scenario? Okay, there are few bullish scenarios. So first of all, we would have to break previous swing to here and then bounce off here before I would buy anything, right? So we would have to first go. I wouldn't buy here for sure because we have this all this resistance around here. So buying here just before the resistance, I don't think it's too, too good, too probable. The probabilities are not on our side, so I wouldn't be buying here. So if we break this area with a momentum and then kind of bounce off here, so if we kind of go up there, then maybe we could consider buying here, but this would be still a risky buy because we have a really strong resistance as well at 10,750. There's another strong resistance, so again we are just buying against the resistance, so it's not really good as well, right? No, so that doesn't work. So maybe it's better off, yeah, just to wait at this very moment. We're kind of like in this crucial point that maybe if we bounce off from here, and you can see this going up and then retrace, then you could buy. That's a bullish kind of like plan to buy on a retrace, but yeah, I just don't see the momentum. Look at this momentum here. Like I would prefer, of course, the market would be bullish, but it is what it is. You have to react in both scenarios. So I don't, yeah, this is the bullish scenario that you could play out. Wait for this to bounce from here and a retrace and then buy. But just the control of the bears at the moment is so strong. Then even if you are buying, you're buying against the major trend, which is, you always want to kind of like trade with the trend, not against it, because that's the most important energy of the market. So yeah, those buys here or here on a bounce would be really, really long term, because I know a lot of you guys are more like investors, more like a long term. So for that, I would have to see something, way more stable, just like bounce once, twice, start going, higher, or the next few days to start considering a new purchases, right? Okay, I hope this video was not too long. Let's see. Okay, I don't see actually here. So yeah, good luck with your trading. You have a plan now for each scenario. I know for bullish I was not too kind of like exact, but I would really be more looking into sales at the moment just because of the momentum, and I like to more like a trend trader. So I always want to go with the trend. And whenever if you look at 12 hours, the 50 MA is looking down. If you look at 1 day, 50 MA is looking down. If you look at 4 hours, it's angling down. All these moving averages are angling down, which indicates we are in a downtrend. So looking for buys, okay, you can buy on a retrace, but but you're basically betting against the trend. Yeah, actually, if you are considering buys, I would, for myself at least, I will be buying Ethereum, because in Ethereum, with Ethereum, the situation is much stronger when it comes to bullishness. I'll take this out. What I'm actually looking to do with Ethereum is we're starting to do a nice, there are different ways how you can count this. You can say, okay, this is a first Elliott wave. My way of counting waves is a bit different, as I was talking before. I'm using Dr. Barry Burns method because it's more precise. When I start looking at the new wave when we break a moving average, so here, and it starts hanging down. So according to this strategy, we are now only in the first, in a second retracement. Okay, this wants to go further, but basically this is the most important. So we broke this here on 6-hourly chart. You can also look at 4, but I look the highest time frame that still gives me the same result because it's more like a swing trade. So it looks like we went up. The 50 moving average is angling up. Sorry about that. It's angling up. We went down, and I see Ethereum going higher. But of course, I'm still waiting for Bitcoin to react. It will probably go lower, which will also send Ethereum a bit lower. And then if also the moving average starts to angle down, I won't go in a trade, right? I'm always looking at the 50 moving average, what it tells me, what is the trend, and then I go with the trend. But here, we bounced off. This is a stochastic indicator. We bounced off. We are starting to go in the other direction. Now we're actually hitting this trend line. We broke through it. Yesterday we went under this trend line. Now we're hitting from it. So there's a little bit of resistance here. So I'm definitely not buying now. But I'm waiting for this. If it comes a little bit lower again, then I might consider a buy, but only if this moving average still angles up, which actually it's highly likely that it won't. If it goes lower, I think this might turn down as well. So yeah, now at this really moment, I'm not too aggressive. I'm just, as you see, I'm just waiting for my, and when it comes to longer positions, I'm just waiting. I might do some scalps, like short-term trades, but I want to focus more on long-term for the investors and for swing traders, because with short-term trades, there's no way I can go in for half an hour. There's no way you can keep up with that. It just happens too fast. So I'm explaining more long-term. But if this was a scenario, then I would, if this was still angling up, then I would be in for quite a while. This would be a swing trade, right? Going up there. But now, of course, Bitcoin, looking at Bitcoin is crucial. All right, guys, good luck to you. Good luck with your trading. All the best, and see you next time. And yes, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If I don't say it, I don't think people do it. And I'm doing this for free, but it's nice to have a little bit of support. And also, if you have any requests, what you want to look at, you can send me an email or just a comment, and that's fine. And I'll surely will listen to your requests. For Neo, I'm looking at Neo because we were in this really nice up channel, and then I was looking for a tree retrace to buy, but now this 50 MA's flat on 6-hourly. Okay, on 4-hourly, I might actually go in. Actually, I was a bit late. So this is angling up, which is good because we had this wrong. So this is still angling up on 4-hourly chart, and we have a little bit of divergence here. This is what I'm looking for. and here, from here and here, there's divergent, which indicates that we want to go higher. But the fact that Bitcoin is so unstable, I would gladly take this trade actually here. I would buy for going higher, but with Bitcoin so being so unstable at the moment and indicating that it wants to go lower, yeah, I think I'll just keep this trade. Or although it looks kind of strong when you just look at NEO, it looks really strong. We bounced off here on this, making this triangle, this trend line kind of stronger. So yeah, it looks bullish. It looks really bullish. But I've learned this till now. I've learned this, that Bitcoin is the main, and if Bitcoin is not, is going lower, it takes with him all the rest as well. So I will wait to see what happens with Bitcoin, and when I see that bounce of Bitcoin on 200 EMA moving average, or even sooner, then I'll consider buying NEO and Ethereum. All right, now really, I said goodbye like 3 times, but there's always more to say. I want you guys to be ready for the market. This is why. All right, all the best.